and Bone is about a country called Ravka that has been torn in two by a swath of darkness called the Shadowfold, and it is crawling with monsters. And in order to trade with the outside world, have contact with the outside world, Ravka has to send people through this dark territory. And they are usually young, ill-equipped soldiers in the king's army. And one of them is a girl named Alina Starkov. And she has spent her life believing herself to be expendable, overlooked. And that all changes when her regiment is attacked and she reveals a power that puts her on a collision course with the most powerful forces in the kingdom.
I also do something with the show, which is to bring in characters from the Six of Crows duology, which are sort of a ragtag group of criminals full of charm, trauma, and talent. And they get integrated into the story in interesting ways.
Alina she starts off just a very, she hides away from the world. She feels very, she's been very much pushed away. Her and her best friend Mal are orphans. But on top of that, Alina's mother is from a country called Shuhan, which is one of the countries that Ravka's at war with. So she has been told her whole life that she looks like the enemy, and she's had to deal with all the racism and all the othering. So where we first meet her, she is, while she's still very strong and has to stand up for herself, she's super vulnerable and she's weak and she's skittish and she's wary of other people. And slowly, as she discovers that she has this power, she begins to firstly understand where she belongs, but also begins to understand that she has, the power that she can wield, and sort of learn to love herself a bit.
Mal is a gifted tracker in the First Army. So there's the First Army, which is just for normal people. They're called Okazatsias in Ravkan language. But his world kind of spirals out of control as they're ambushed in the Shadowfold by Volcra. And he is just a guy with a lot of courage, a lot of heart, and would do whatever it takes to see that Alina is safe.
Is this true? Can you summon light?
He's a man who's somewhat feared, somewhat revered, because he's made it his life's goal to protect the Grisha. And the way he's been doing that as of late is to make sure that they are feared, because, as Jessie said, the country is very much war-torn with the Fjordans in the north and the Shuhan in the south. And then he also has the weight of the Shadowfold on his shoulders, because his is the power to summon the darkness. And people believe that his ancestors are responsible for creating the fold.
I know there's a lot of anxiety among readers, but I think they're going to be so thrilled when they see the way Eric has brought these two stories together, because they will always have the books to come back to. And the characters have stayed very true to who they are. Their journeys have not been disrupted. But instead, you get this new story that is going to give you all the pleasure of reading the books and then so much more. So I think, I don't know, I didn't know how Eric was going to pull it off. But at every stage, I've been like, okay, still along for the ride. And then when I finally saw those final episodes, I was like, dang, he did it. I don't know how, but they did it. They're our incredible team of writers, our directors, our incredible team crew. Like, just so many people put so much love and really like blood, sweat, and tears into this show.